Hello, this is Sandy. Welcome back for day 2. Today we're going to focus on painting the edges and different sections of our little haunted house black. So if you weren't with us yesterday, then you might want to check out countrycraftcreations.com. That's the sponsor for this year's series of my 13 Frights Before Halloween. And check out the little haunted house that they have for sale in their Halloween store, and also this Matilda and Godfrey uh, paper collection by Photo Play. Now I'm going to include in the bottom, in the description, a discount code that Tamara of Country Craft Creations has graciously granted us for this blog hop, for this 13 Frights Before Halloween series. So I'll put the details down in the description below, and you can order from her store and use that code. So gather your supplies together today. If you started on this project with me yesterday, you're going to need a black Sharpie marker, a little paintbrush, and some black paint so that we can paint the edges and some of the sections of our little haunted house. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I am using a black Sharpie. I decided that'd be the easiest thing to do around the edges of the windows of the chipboard part of the house. So we're doing all this before we put any of the pattern paper on. So today we're going to focus on getting all our edges painted or colored in black. So I'm using the Sharpie right now on these circle windows. I'm coloring the frames completely black, and then around the edge of the windows where the paper won't go all the way up to the edge. So you want a bit of black showing underneath that. So this is what I'm doing today. This will take a little bit of time. So today, on our second day of 13 Frights Before Halloween, we're just going to be doing our coloring and painting on the house. I'm not sure if I'll have time to do any of the other elements, but we'll just see where we get, how far we get on this today. And so go ahead and grab you either a painter pen would work also if you don't have a black Sharpie marker, and go ahead and start coloring in all those spaces there around your windows. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this up just a little bit so that we can save some time. I'm going to go ahead and use my Sharpie to color like the bottom edge here of the house. And one thing I do believe we're going to have to do is like fold the house where it folds, and also color in there inside the folds, because you want to make sure that those are black and not left the craft color. Now you could certainly use a paintbrush and black paint on this. It just depends on what you want to do. So for now I'm using the black Sharpie, and then I will change to paint on larger areas. So I'm going to see how this does, and be sure and color all the edges. We don't have to worry about the flap where the roof attaches. We can just leave that plain, but right now I'm coloring all the edges to make sure that everything is black within about I would say a 1/4 inch around all the edges of the house sections. So I'm going to speed this part up again. After I finished coloring the different edges, I'm just laying my papers down over the different sections to make sure that there's not any other areas that I need to color. I'm not ready to attach the papers yet, but I'm just checking those for now. I'm going to go ahead and color the edges of the roof. You want to color on both sides, of underneath and the top, along all the edges, the same way as we did on the house. And when you fold the roof down, you're going to need to color in that center seam line so that it's black also instead of the craft color. So go ahead and color that in and get a good coat. Make sure it's about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the roof. I will be putting pattern paper on the outside of the roof and then also underneath. So I'm just measuring right now and writing on the roof piece the size of the pattern paper that I will need to cut later. So it's 8 3/4 wide by about 7 3/4 tall. So I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring the last few edges, and then we'll end that for today. We'll start back up tomorrow for day 3 with more painting. We'll actually probably do the painting on the inside of the house tomorrow. Be sure to leave a comment so that you'll be entered into the drawing for a prize. I will be sharing that with you tomorrow or the next day what the prize is. You can also go and comment on my blog, so you'd have 2 entries for today, and you can comment every day to get more entries. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.